Whoa, check out the size of that cannon. I bet this cannon will take you to that island. Captain Event! Yes, this game actually introduced the Captain Events. So once you actually get into those specific parts throughout the board, then you can actually encounter one of these specific events. You want to hear about the 9 Island Captain Event? Each player hits the dice block once in an attempt to collect the 10 mini stars waiting at the end of the path. Alright? The mini stars can be collected by whoever passes over them. The captain decides the turn order. They should choose an order that is more likely get them to the end of the path first. Alright, so Peach is the only one. She was the captain event. Why is every single opponent always goes for me? Because basically, ever when I play this game in my own time, especially when I play during story mode or solo play, that for whatever reason, the captain events, especially the computer opponents, always picks me first. Oh, I know why. It's because I was in first. But in Mario Party 10 though, it does not have these one of these captain events, but only Mario Party 9 has those. But I digress. So it looks like Princess Peach is about to land on that dash space, so that she'll continues on. And looks like we don't have a reward. So that was a pretty miserable part at the end. Or especially the beginning part mostly, because at the beginning that we constantly getting ourselves one. And then once we actually deal with the captain events, then we can actually progress onwards. So you remember that billboard, as you can probably saw, that meaning that you have to automatically stop, you know, just like how it does in the boss battle spaces. So yeah, that's how it goes. And we have almost there, which is basically almost there to towards the end of a goal, and as well as the last 5 turn events kind of system. And basically it tells you some current standings. And then, most like Mario Party 10, that it actually gives the last place player a slow dice block. So that'll be really good to go for the last players. Oh, you want a whole bunch of presents? No. Well, of course you're gonna take quite a few, so have those instead. Yeah, it doesn't usually matter if these Bowser spaces always be there in the at the very end. So, yeah, battle mini game. And looks like Hammer Bros gonna take the host of this, rather than just being the playable character now. Alright, Polo Extreme. The next minigame we're about to be just about to get on with it. So here we go. Make your way across the drifting ice chunks. Be the first to board the ship at the end to win. So it's basically a platforming game on ice, with ice physics in this case. Hold the Wiimote sideways, press D-pad to move and 2 to jump. If you fall into the water, rapidly press 2 to climb back onto the ice. So once you fell into the water, then quickly tap the 2 button. Alright, that's how it goes then. Start! As far as I already know, that as far as where Sonic and Pickle had already mentioned that in Mario Party 10 playthrough, that I kind of wish if Mario Party 10 as an announcer, kind of like how it does it back in E3 2014, but no, it decides to get rid of it and decides to go more likely just very similar to how Mario Party DS does not have the announcer, as well as Mario Party Advance as well, because of that Game Boy's limitations. So yeah, they decided to go for that little whistle sound effect going on, so yeah. I can manage to actually do this when I managed to make it first place in that minigame, to actually go onto that pointy part, to actually make it there to the ship as far as this probably already know. Alright, 14 mini stars, how about that? So it looks like we're doing pretty well so far. Yoshi gets a 6. And we have 2 split paths here, so... What? You decide to go after the grab those 10 negative mini set stars. And by the way, for that question mark space right there, this is what Sylvester and Duffy seem to mention that in during Mario Party 1 and 2. That Sylvester mostly has mentioned that in Mario Party 2. If some captain land on that happening space right there, then it will immediately take us into that middle part of this forest section. And what happens is that is, well, if you release it to captain, then you can actually get those 10 mini stars. And plus, not to mention, in order to actually get out of it, although, not to mention as well as Bowser Nightmare in Mario Party 5, that you have to like get out of the you have to use that happening space in order to get out of it. Although not so much in Mario Party 1, because in Mario Party 1 has the cannon system, or else Mario Party 2 has a teleporting device system. But before I talk anything else, here we have reverse minigames. Reverse minigames. You remember how in Mario Party 10 there's usually just the rolls are in reverse mode? But in here it's basically the same thing as it does in Mario Party 10. Be the first player to get squished by a Thwomp. Hold the Wiimote sideways, press the D-pad to move and to the jump. Because yes, the entire objective of it is just the last player standing wins. But in reverse minigame mode, someone has to get hit by the Thwomp. Or technically squish as well. But usually these Thwomps design, they're a bit more like spikier than the ones in just like how it does in... Dang it! You just let Peach win that. Ah, whatever. Nothing matters anyway, because in this game he only has like 10 mini stars as a reward, unlike Mario Party 10. It doubles the amount of these mini stars as a reward. But I digress. Right, so we're nearly done with this board, so hopefully we should be able to be good to go for this. Alright, Koopa gets a 2. And another battle game to deal with. So yeah, rather than just having ourselves a little roulette wheel for these minigame types, unlike it does in Mario Party 10, but I digress. A lot of mentionings about Mario Party 10 recently. I need to like actually just mentioning about Mario Party 9 instead. Watch the jewels fall into the chest and then track their multi-moles their barrel. Try to pick a chest with jewels in it. The player with the most jewels after 3 rounds wins. Plunder Ground. We're about to be playing. Hold the Wiimote sideways, press the D-pad to move, and press 2 to when you're stunned on front of the chest to select it. So it's a bit like a shell game, but in treasure chest finding jewels type of game. Alright, let's go.
Start.
Round 1. Alright, let's keep a track of these, how much gems does that, or jewels I should say, how much they actually get. I think I'll take this one. And looks like Yoshi doesn't have any. Round 2. So yeah, about the question mark space, notably the event space that we actually went past, that is actually a lot similar to Bowser's Nightmare happening space in Mario Party 5, and then also the somewhat a bit more like a 5th island in Mario Party 2 in Mystery Land. But in order to get out of it, you have to land on those specific happening spaces. So yeah, that's how it goes. Now the third part, or the third and final round, will have to be one of the trickiest to just to keep an eye out, because those multi-moles will drill through the ground really, really fast. But I managed to got 20 by lucky.
Finish.
Well, that was unfortunate. Yoshi doesn't have anything. If only if Koopa Troopa doesn't make it in time, then he'll be good to go. But nope, he didn't. That kind of sucks for him. Right, I should able to grab myself a 10 mini stars as far as I can know about. Which sure enough I do. Hooray! But I'm going back. Which is, I don't mind going back because Usually I can get 10 more mini stars if I get the amount of them already straight away. Which, sure enough, I do. And plus, not to mention, I get a green space, so it doesn't do anything that much. But I digress. Now, unlike Mario Party 10, and when it comes to backspaces, that usually in Mario Party 10, when you actually go back, it doesn't affect the space you land on once you've already landed on the backspace. But in here, that wasn't the case, because usually you just land 2 of those spaces at once you're in back, once you've gone back. It looks like we're constantly going in the same direction here. But anywho. But I'm guessing Peach doesn't make it all the way to the end, so I don't mind her going there to the end, so at least I'll let her have a captain bonus, so for that regard. Alright, so we're at the end of Toad Road. Oh wait, we have a boss fight to deal with here. Because, you know, just like Mario Party 10, you're actually just about to fight these boss battles. During like 2 in each stage, so... Oh, we're fighting Blooper in this board. Blooper doesn't make any sense while fighting the in Toad Road. The regular boss is just Wiggler. Anyway, Blooper Borage. Blast Blooper with your cannon, make sure you shoot down the urchins that come flying at you. Hold the Wiimote vertically, point the area where you want to shoot and press A to fire. But the Blooper, as far as this boss battle is concerned, that it comes from Blooper Beach. So, technically though, we didn't fight the actual boss fight of Toad Road. The answer to that solution is Wiggler Bounce, which is a pretty simple minigame, but we'll encounter that during a later time. So, for now though, let's deal with Blooper, shall we? Because, you know, if you play this on story mode, then you fight the specific amount of boss fights in each board. So, there are a grand total of 6 boards you're actually going to, like, explore in story mode. And there's 1 bonus board you can actually unlock. But I'll explain to that when we actually get to it. So, yeah, that's not much we can just say. Looks like he's almost down. Just still a few bunch of hits left before he is about to be good to go. And it looks like it's we're about to be using the cannons on the somewhat a bit more like a pirate ship, it seems like it, so you know. So this minigame seems to remind me of the balloon sticks on Mario Party 7, that in 1 player in a team of 1 that you have to avoid the cannonballs, whilst the team of 3 needs to shoot all of the balloons from the team of 1. Finish! But except rather than dealing with the GameCube controller, instead we just have to use the Wii Remote controls with the Wii pointer. Yeah, I don't mind Koopa just get a final attack, because besides, I've got plenty of points. And yeah, that was Blooper Borage, the, you know, the actual boss fight in Blooper Beach, although we're not on that board yet, but, yeah, that's how it goes, hey? Alright, that concludes Toad Road, and much like any other Mario Party games, now we have to deal with the final results here. So, you remember how in the previous Mario Party entries that you actually, get 3 bonus stars? And, it functions as the same way as it does in the previous games, except 10. Which I have no idea why in the 10th installment you only gets like just only 2 mini stars. Or 2 bonus stars, I should say. Alright, so first bonus stars we have is Dice Block Star. If someone gets this bonus star, they actually claim 5 mini stars. So that will also add up to your mini stars count. And it looks like Shy Guy and Peach actually got it. I think it's mostly used for just for the special items they can use during the boards themselves. 5 star, who does that goes to? That goes to Peach. Because I believe at the end that she actually got that. And lastly, minus star, I think Yoshi's gonna get it because he actually somehow went across for that mini Z stars for some armadillo reason. So, the superstar in Toad Road we have is, well, in this case, the first board in this game, which will have to be, let's see. Koopa's in 4th, Yoshi is 3rd, and Peach is 2nd place. And I am in 1st. I got 78 mini stars. How about that? But yeah, and much like how it does in Mario Party 7 and especially Mario Party 8 and even Mario Party DS, that the bonus stars categories, or in this case, some bonus stars can be a bit randomized, so there's no way you can guarantee you can get all these bonus stars, but you might get some of them. But anyways, so it tells you how much mini stars you've been collected, as well as the other opponents got those mini stars from here. And yeah, the mini stars have been come back since mostly in Mario Party 10 in Mario Party mode, as well as Mario Party Island Tour, mostly for Star Crossed Skyway board, if you want to check those out. And it actually tells you the graph of how much stars you've been collected throughout the some segments after the tower, or in this case the mini boss tower, and a checkpoint, or in this case the almost there flag, which Green Toad is usually the host of that little system, and went through the Bowser gates, and also reached to the end to see the claims of the superstar from the towards the end anyways. So yeah, and also it just tells us about how we actually acclaim those mini stars from, like how much mini stars you actually own during the mini games and how much mini stars you lost during the mini games. Wow, every single of these opponents, including me, actually lost 6 of those. I think it's probably because of the during the battle mode or the battle mini games. I don't know, but I digress. You've owned from these events, and some of them we haven't lost any of these events at all. And also how much mini stars you've earned from the bonus stars. So yeah, there's not much we can just do. I'm the only one never get any mini stars during the bonus stars part. And how much space is that anyone lands, at least if you're the captain anyways. It looks like that we haven't encountered the event space, especially unlucky spaces. That is very much a purple musical note, as well as the red space here. And no Bowser Jr. spaces, but what they actually do is that they actually are forcing you to actually play a mini game with him. So that's basically, you can just pretty much definitely tell from that. And lastly, the dice blocks. See if how much players they use specific dice blocks. Like there are a grand total of 5 special dice blocks. So not much we can do now, just to save for this part here for the most part. So as well as how much normal dice blocks you'd be using. Yeah, both Koopa and Troopa and Peach somehow uses their both items at the same kind of way. And then after when you finish those sports, you actually gotta claim yourself some party points you actually going to buy. Like, usually I had 78 mini stars, and then also it actually tracks down how much party points you actually attain from. Like, I got 78 party points. So, yeah, there's not much I can just explain for that part. And yeah, so join me next time on Let's Play Mario Party 9. That we're about to be exploring one of my least favorite boards of the entire game, which will have to be Bob-omb Factory. Oh boy, we're actually getting a good start. But at least we actually did one on during the first board right now. But I'm pretty sure I can guarantee. I'm not sure if I can win all of the boards throughout it though, but I'll mention that in the next time around on the next board. Anyway, see you guys next time for that. Later, fellas.